as many prefects as possible and get their insight on what it's like being a prefect and the sort of things you can do in this position. What I'm just going to do now is I'm going to run through literally every single initiative that we've run this year, and this is being filmed for the Facebook page so that we have a video record of everything the prefect body did. So don't make noise, just listen and see what sort of legacy that you have to live up to. So one of the first things that we did as prefects was that we decided to triple the regularity of meetings from the year before us. So for some absurd reason, they only had meetings every 3 weeks, and we changed that to have meetings every single week. And what that meant was we had enough time to organize all of our things and make sure that all of our tasks were delegated. The second thing we did to establish ourselves for the year was we established our Prefects of Sydney High Facebook page for the first time, and since beginning that in October last year, we've amassed 2,300 likes, which is a pretty impressive total for a new page, I would say. We are the most liked prefect page in Sydney. Yes. And the reason that page is so useful is not just because it can, provide a platform for you to show off everything you're doing, but it also allows you to publicize things in the school where you want engagement. So we use that for Head of the River, we use that for GPS swimming, for GPS athletics, for high-V grammar, sport, debating, all those sorts of things, and that worked really well. We got great crowds at all of those events. By my naked eye observation, I thought it was more than the year before us, so I was very happy with that. One of the things that was a pillar of what we did as prefects this year was the Equality Committee, which, as I said before, was handed down to us in the form of a constitution from Vishal Kanamatakala, who was Vice Captain 2016, and we took that constitution and we made it a reality. The Equality Committee did a whole lot of good things. They ran the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia Assembly, in which we had guest speaker Alex Greenwich was interviewed by Jasper, and that was really positive. We had Wear It Purple Day basketball game and initiatives to promote LGBT inclusion in our school, which was really positive. And perhaps most importantly, under the sort of banner of equality, we had International Women's Week in March, and there were many pillars to that. We had the inaugural assembly for International Women's Day with guest speaker Tanya Plitisek. We had workshops for every single student in Year 9 and 10 about gender and sexuality. We had a fundraiser for UN Women in the form of a breakfast. We raised money by selling ribbons. We had a very successful Q&A panel with special guests from the Human Rights Commission and from the media. And of course, we made that video, which got 25 million views and started a truly global conversation about gender equality. And I think we have a really proud record when it comes to issues of equality. Some other scattered things, we introduced the role of Achievement Prefect this year, which Akil took up and did very well in creating a mentoring program for struggling students in your year. We initiated a Students versus Teachers football game at the end of 2016, just for fun, and that's one of the really good things about being prefects. You can just do things just for fun. We had more interaction with the Old Boys Union, so we helped them organise High Achievers. And we also had an increased role for welfare prefects this year. So I don't know if you saw, but we made a very comprehensive and thorough video about mental health. We made an initiative on Valentine's Day to peg people, to make them feel good, those sorts of things. We had a very successful barbecue for the Black Dog Institute, in which Adam did great work in inviting Headspace along to come in and talk to the boys, and really improve students' understanding of mental health. And just last week, they've been running really positive workshops about appropriate use of social media. I've had the pleasure of conducting one of those workshops. The Year 8 students who I was working with were very positive, and I'm sure they learned a lot about how to behave well online and to make sure that they are aware of their online footprint, particularly on Facebook. Another thing which we did was the Islamophobia satire video, which Sidin and Akid created. I personally thought that was hilarious, and we got really good traction with that. We got 10,000 views and made an impact in our community. One of my personal projects was improving our sex education, particularly in regards to helping parents and students understand pornography. There's a PNC meeting coming up next term in which the organisation Two Birds One Bee is coming and talking to parents about online pornography, because as we know, that's not a thing that our parents' generation would necessarily understand properly. So that's an initiative which actually started from the prefect body. Our usual things went really well. Open Day went well. Orientation Day went well. We've been working well in the canteen, although people could have turned up a bit more, but I'm sure your year will improve on that. Our prefect afternoon tea system went really well. Desmond was a great PAT prefect. Not only did we manage to send prefects to pretty much every afternoon tea we were invited to, but in our prefect afternoon tea we hosted over 100 students from over 20 schools. just yesterday we had our bin ball game against Sydney Girls High, and that was very successful. There was very good vibes going on there. And of course we started the tree planting initiative from newly created Environment Prefect Jasper. We planted some trees in between the McDonald's wing and the cricket nets, and also we have plans to enact an initiative where Year 7s can have a personal relationship with their own tree and their own plant in their own garden, and so that can enhance their spiritual connection to the school over time. So I'm very proud of the legacy of the prefect body of 2017 in this school. It does sound intimidating when you read it out all one by one. These are all the things we did, but you've got a whole year to do it. What I would say is make sure you're doing as much of it as you can in terms 4 and terms 1, because once exams start to set in, then you'll be pressed for time, people won't want to volunteer for things. So I think the spirit is to really get into it, make sure you're delegating, make sure you're working together. You can achieve great things, and every prefect body wants to make the school a better place than when they received it. I believe that we have done that, and I believe that you can too. So thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best of luck this year. I just want to hand over to Miss Rigby, see if you have anything to say.